Hey guys, I'm here with my first project, the interview assignment that we have for this class. And the person I decided to interview was actually my mom. The story behind that, you might be wondering, like, oh, this is supposed to be about a different culture. Why are you interviewing your mom? Well, basically, my mom was born in Romania. She grew up in Romania, which is a country in Europe, for those of you who don't know. And she moved to Montreal, Quebec when she was, I believe, around 25 years old. So she's been here for 23 years. She moved with my dad to Montreal, Quebec, and then they moved to Toronto, and then I was born. So the only thing I've ever known is Canadian culture. I've gotten bits and pieces of Romanian culture, but I tend to stick to what I know, which is Canadian culture. So I asked her a couple questions about what it was like moving here, and the first question I asked her was, what was the most difficult part about moving to Canada from Europe? And the first thing she said was the language, which, I mean, this didn't surprise me at all. In Romania, they speak Romanian, obviously, and in Montreal, they speak French and English. And so she wasn't very familiar. She learned a little bit about those languages because in Romania, you have to learn a little bit of English and a little bit of French. But for the most part, she was new to the language, and it was difficult to communicate for a long time for her. That's what she told me for that. Then I asked her, I asked her what was the biggest difference that she noticed between Canadians and Romanians. And she told me that the biggest difference is the mindset. And I found this answer to actually be quite interesting, because it wasn't what I expected. Um, I expected her to say something like, "Oh, the biggest difference between Canadians and Canada and Romania is that there's more opportunity here," or something of that sort. No, she said the mindset, and I asked her what does she mean, and she said that when she's talking about the mindset, she means that Canadians are much more open-minded than Romanians. She said that Romanians are stubborn, and I've never really thought of it this way. Obviously, Canada is the only thing I've really known. Obviously, I've lived here for the last couple of years, but the difference between American and Canadian culture isn't that severe as it is between Romanian and Canadian. So she said um, people are more open-minded here. People are much more stubborn and strict to their um, cultural rules. Back home in Canada, they're much more multicultural. So I thought that was interesting. And then the last thing I asked her, I said, does she identify more as Canadian or Romanian? Because she's lived almost half of her life in Canada, and she grew up in Romania. So I asked her, do you identify more as a Romanian or Canadian? She said that she identifies more as a Romanian, and I asked her why, and she said that um, the reasoning behind it is that that's where she grew up. That's what she knows best. She speaks Romanian much better than she speaks English, and so she tries to keep the culture going by. She does cook us Romanian meals every once in a while. We're not big fans because we're used to the Canadian, North American types of food, right? But um, it is a nice change when we get to experience that Romanian culture. So yeah, I think the most interesting part about the interview, the part that I think surprised me the most, was the idea that our mindset is different from those people in Romania. So yeah, that was my interview with my mom, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys learned something. And I'll see you soon.